session. It is often said that success follows success, and success is what we want to make sure you experience today and the rest of your lives. The young lady that I'm about to turn this call over to has the experience and a leading example of success. She is a retired major of the U.S. Army, holds an MBA, licensed financial advisor, one of the BYOB founders, and the creator of the BYOB Cash Out Strategy. It is my pleasure to introduce to you my wonderful business partner. She knows 100% of what it takes to have a successful business. She's having a lot of fun, and mostly she loves helping people. I want to turn this call over to Miss Tasha M. Dyer. Miss Dyer, are you on the line?
Yes, I am. And thank you so much, Pastor Axon, for hosting this call. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you. I want to welcome you to this Wealthy Woman Wednesday. So yes, but before we dive into this call, before we talk about what this is and be your own bank, I want to make sure you understand the person that actually had an opportunity to greet you. She is definitely an integral part of this movement. She is spearheading our Orlando market, and she is also a part of our Be Your Own Bank mastermind team. So ladies and gentlemen, anytime you have an opportunity to hear her speak, anytime you have an opportunity to be in her presence, is definitely somewhere you want to be. So as we dive into this call is designed to help you think like a bank, act like a bank, and be your own bank. Yes, my name is Tasha M. Dyer, and I am here. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, here in Jacksonville, Florida, but want to make sure you understand that our movement is simple, and I want to tell you just a little bit about who I am. But as I do that, I want you to make sure that you have an open mind as you absorb this information. And I want you to make sure that you thank the person that invited you out. I want you to get back with them, and I want you to thank them, because you're going to be exposed to some information that has been hidden in plain sight. We're going to share with you exactly how you can learn how to transition into your own bank. So as I stated, my name is Tasha M. Dyer, and I am no different than each and every last one of you all. I actually grew up in a single parent household, but I feel like we were related, because I'm quite sure, just like each and every last one of you all, my mother told me the exact same thing that each and every last one of you heard. Go to school, get good grades, go to college, and get you one of those good jobs, right? So we all journeyed upon that path. We all took that path. It's just the setback that maybe our path was different somewhere along the way. My path, being the oldest child of a terminally ill mother, the brunt of the household responsibilities fell on me. So there were a lot of things that I had to learn how to adapt and overcome. I went to college. I ended up joining the military because I needed to be able to pay for college. During my journey, my mother fell to her illness. So yes, I still kept in my heart what she instilled in me, that you were designed for success. You were someone that was crafted to be successful. And don't you ever stop. That has always been in me. And so we all have those desires. We all have that. It's just, how do I get to that path? How do I achieve those goals? So yes, I got my MBA. Yes, I retired as a major from the U.S. Army, and then I became a financial advisor. So yes, I was exposed to some information that most people were not. I was exposed because I understood that this market existed. I understood that there was a market, there was information out there that most people did not have access to. So for me, it became a journey. For me, it became a passion. It became a desire to figure out how to bridge that gap, to figure out how do you connect those dots, because I understood that if we were taking retirement accounts, if we were doing those types of things, then we always, if you wanted a higher return, if you wanted those things, where do we put it? We put it in foreign funds. Every time somebody spoke of higher income, we talked about foreign funds. So I knew there had to be a better way. I knew there had to be a gap. So what are we here talking about today? We're talking about Wealthy Women Wednesday. Women Teach Forex. This is a movement. We are here, Be Your Own Bank, is going to financially impact and empower 1 million women. 1 million by the 28th of March, 2021. So yes, I'm speaking of 2 million because BYOB is definitely going to financially educate and impact 1 million by the 28th. And so Women Teach Forex has that exact same goal. As you see, we're definitely here to help you learn this skill set, help you understand exactly where we're going. Now, how do we do that? How does that happen? What are we doing? We're talking about I Am Mastery Academy. This is the platform that we utilize. We're talking about learning simplified, master the markets, knowing how to build real wealth and freedom. This is exactly how that happens and what is going to get accomplished. Learning simplified. Now, this is where most of us fall. Not most, actually all, because there are really only 4 ways that you can generate income. 35% of us work for ourselves. 60% work for someone else. 4% are business owners and 1% are investors. Now, we've all seen this chart some way, shape, form, or fashion before. This chart has been there, but what has not been told to you, what you have not understood, is how do you transition and how do you break this down? See, 95% of America, 95% of individuals actually make up 5% of the market. I'm gonna say that again. 95% make up, fight for 5% of the market, while 5% make up 95% of the market. So what does that mean? What does that mean? That means that you cannot make more money. There's no way to generate more money. It's all about understanding that currency flows, currency moves, and you can't stand in one position and expect it to just magically flow to you. You have to learn how to transition yourself and move yourself from one side to the other. This is what we're here to show you today. How do you transition yourself to that? How does that happen? Well, 5% of the wealth, right? How does that happen? Well, what if there was another way? What if things could be different? Well, it is. Things definitely can be different because you now are being exposed to a different set of information. Where does that begin? It begins with how you talk to yourself. See, I told you my story in the beginning. And where does that begin? I got asked a few questions. And remember, I asked you to clear your mind. Remember, I asked you to open, and it begins with self-talk because that's what's powerful. So the question that I was asked, and that's the same question that I'm going to ask you today because this was at that transition point. As I transition, that question I was asked is, are you ready to accept the challenge to be your own bank? That's the question I was asked. So I'm going to ask you that exact same question. Are you ready to accept the challenge to learn how to be your own bank? And over the last 5 or 10 years, out of all the money that's flowed through your bank account, how much has your bank paid you for using your own money? Think about that for just a minute. And how did that make you feel? So if there was a way to learn a skill set to do exactly what the banks do with your money, would you take advantage of it? I already know the answer. The answer is yes. Because how do you talk to yourself? If you talk to yourself the way that my mother poured into me, because I know we have the same parents. If you talk to yourself that way, what we think is what we become. And if you talk to yourself, when you answer those questions the right way, then it's powerful. Because everything begins with self-thought. Everything begins with self-thinking. So our story is simple. We empower people. We're going to empower you. 1 million families financially educated and empowered. 1 million families financially educated and impacted. We're going to empower you. We're going to help you build a better life. We're going to help you give meaning and purpose. And that's why so many people see success, because we're here with you along this journey. That's our story. We believe real change begins with positive self-talk and thinking. And we're finding success starts from within. So just like when I asked you that question, success begins with you answering that question. What are you telling yourself? I am. I am. Because you're ready to make that transition. I am. Now, how would you feel if you had total control over every aspect of your life? And I want you to think about this for just a moment. It's not a cliche. Because right now, in the midst of this pandemic, right now, in the midst of everything that's happening, you literally have people that are unbothered. Yes, 26 million people lost their job. That's a fact. Yes, 10 years worth of job growth have been erased. That's a fact. Yes, retirement accounts have been wiped away. That's a fact. But yet, somehow people are unbothered. And that's because they've been exposed to a different set of information. That's because they've been exposed to a different set of knowledge and ideas. And they've learned a skill set. And today you're here and you're being exposed and the blinders are being removed because you now know that you can become your own bank. So have you ever heard of the foreign exchange market? Have you heard of the exchange markets? So when you think about the exchange market, understand that this is global. We're talking about the global markets. We're talking about global currencies, a place where you buy and sell and exchange currencies, and this is where the prices are set. And it exchange at trillions of dollars a day. So how many zeros are in a trillion? We're talking about 12 zeros. Yes, 12 zeros. Now imagine that's $6.6 trillion a day. 6.6. And yes, that surged from 5.3 just last year. So $6.6 trillion a day in the market. So when we say make that transition, when we say move because currency flows, you just have to position yourself to where that currency actually is. This market is open 24 hours, 5 days a week, worldwide. So there is always opportunity for you to cash out. You're going to enroll, you're going to learn, and you're going to understand how you could put yourself in that position of profit in the largest market in the world. This is a market where you can exchange without physically owning anything, without physically owning any money. See, we've been taught that I have to buy. We've been taught that I have to hold and I cash out in years to come, 10, 20, 30, 40 years. That's what we've been taught. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's not what banks do. That's not what the banks are doing. So this is why it looks good on paper. This is why it looks good in your portfolio. But when it actually comes time, that's why it's affected and impacted by what's happening in the market and in the world right now. So welcome to the foreign exchange market, because you now know that there's a different set of information. There's a different option for you happening right now. But yet there's another market. There's another market that's growing, and it's setting the stage for how we will handle money. Yes, I'm talking about cryptocurrency. Yes, that's exactly what I'm speaking of, because you are probably just like me. We have to do our research. We have to Google everything, right? We have to go Google it. See, I've got my PhD, and didn't mention it in the beginning, but in Google, right? I have a PhD in Google. I feel like I'm a Googleologist, right? So I'm gonna research everything. But you have individuals like Oprah Winfrey, who has invested $1 million in a Bitcoin platform. You have dealerships like Bentley, Rolls Royces, where you can make purchases with Bitcoin. You actually can purchase your tickets for the Mavericks with Bitcoin. So these platforms are there. Starbucks is making that transition, right? So this is already happening, and it's already all around us. So the research is done. The research is there. So this is the market that we have. It is literally becoming the global form of payment, and it's happening everywhere. But you can also trade. You can also trade this without owning any physical money. So welcome to digital currencies. So now that you know what's out there, now that you are aware of what's available to you, it's time for you to learn and earn on the go, because we're going to help you. We're going to navigate. This is an educational platform, and you're going to enroll. You're going to learn how to utilize the tools, and we're going to put you in a position of profit. Now, one of the tools, right, what you see several. We have so many options for you, powerful tools that are going to simplify your experience. But one of the tools, yes, one of the tools, I am actually the creator of the BYOB Cash Out. So what I'm going to do with you right now is I'm actually going to share that information with you. Okay, we're going to share the information to kind of give you an example and to kind of show you exactly what that looks like. So as I'm sharing this information, okay, we're looking at what you're looking at the screen right now. And on here, what you're looking at is the vibrato. Once again, welcome to the vibrato. Now, what's so significant about this tool? What is so significant about what you see? What you see is a tool, and look, it says this revolutionary software enables you to trade like the banks. This revolutionary software enables you to trade like the banks from the comfort of your smartphone and your desktop. This all-in-one software. So I'm gonna play this video because the person that you see right here, he is the visionary behind the BYOB movement. He's the visionary behind the movement that we have, the Be Your Own Bank. His background is in investment banking. So yes, this tool was vetted. Yes, this tool has been comparable to the big banks of the world. So I'm gonna play this for you so you can understand how powerful and impactful this is.
Wow, folks, I'm just absolutely amazed to know that I'm a part of an organization looking to empower and impact lives across the globe. I've been in this space for over 20 years, commercial banking, lending, and when I look at the web analyzer in comparison to what the big banks of the world utilize, that web analyzer is equivalent, far exceeds the expectation that I was anticipating after having that experience on the investment market. So folks, for those of you who don't understand the magnitude of what you have your hands on, I encourage you, I challenge you to take a deeper dive and realize that literally you have in your own hands the power to become your own bank and allow us to be your partner, to empower you economically, financially, and leave a true legacy.
So ladies and gentlemen, this is the vibrato. But then to take this even a step further, this is the Be Your Own Bank tab. So we trade with you, not for you. We're gonna walk through here, but just for you to understand how powerful this is, we literally have an opportunity where we can drop a trade idea, we can put this in here, and look at this, BYOB, Be Your Own Bank. So yes, this is our movement. These are our trades that we can drop in here, and you can literally take those with no analysis needed. But we're going to emphasize your education. We're going to emphasize you literally understanding how to become your own bank. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I'm showing you and as I'm walking you through this, I want you to understand what the BYOB cash out is. What is the strategy? It is loading, but what is the strategy? As you see, this strategy right here, what you're looking at is 3 simple steps. What you're seeing is 3 simple steps. It is literally 3 simple steps to cash out. Once again, I can do this on a day-to-day basis. Now, right here, this is to share this information with you, is to help you understand. But so what I want you to focus on is the red and the green. The red and the green. This is what banks have been doing. Remember, I told you they're not buying and holding. They profit on movement in the market. So yes, the market is consistently moving down, moving up. It's moving down and it's moving up. This is what the market is doing consistently. So what you're doing and what you see, when you see this green, you know that's a buy. When you see this red, you know that's a sell. So when I say we're going to focus on your education, we're going to show you how to know when to enter this trade, and we're going to show you how to exit this trade. So all you're going to do is cash out. When it's selling, you're cashing out. When it's buying, you're cashing out. When it's selling, you're cashing out. When it's buying, you're cashing out. Yes, I did say selling as well. When it's selling, you're cashing out. So you're focused on movement, because remember, we're not physically owning anything. So yes, when the market is moving in a downward direction, you still have the opportunity and the availability to cash out. That is why we've been unbothered in this circumstances and in this situation and everything that's been happening and everything that's been going on. This is how we cash out. This is how you transition your mindset to becoming your own bank. That is literally how it happens. So this is the strategies. Now, this is where your education begins. This is your Foreign Exchange Mastery Academy. This is where you learn, where your education begins in the Mastery Academy. This is your Mastery Academy for high frequency Forex. So yes, you have the foreign exchange market. Have you ever been interested in learning options? You're going to learn that as well. And what about digital currencies? We just talked about that too, digital currencies. So you're in a position, you have the opportunity to win all the way across the board. We have access to many educators. Yes, I'm one of them. Educators, over 100 plus full-time educators. We're going to learn from the best. But there's an educator that I want to mention, because we have an educator that's part of BYOB. We're talking about Dr. Craig Bythewood. He has his PhD in finance and economics. He does a call twice a week called your RX for Forex, a talk with the finance doctor. He's going to help you understand your why behind the what. So is skilled in this area. He's going to help you understand exactly how you are going to be able to cash out. So he's going to help you understand exactly what you're doing, how the market is navigating. He's going to help you understand the logic and the reason behind everything that's going on. So being a part of the Be Your Own Bank movement is going to be one of the best decisions that you have ever made in your life. We're going to empower you with the mentorship. I showed you Mr. Rogers. So that's the visionary. We have mentorship that is here for you all around. It's designed specifically for you. So how do you get started? How do you dive into this information? I am so glad you asked. Remember, everything is about education. You being properly educated on something is the most important thing that you can ever do. Now, our parents were right. They were absolutely correct about us being educated. The key is what you're being educated upon. The key is what are you being educated upon? Because most of us do go to college. Most of us obtain those degrees, but do you realize that 86% of individuals are not working in the field that they have a degree on? And I want that to resonate with you for just a moment. So it's all about you being educated and being educated on money, being educated on to properly duplicate, how to properly utilize, how to properly obtain money is definitely what you need to be educated upon. Now, how do you get started? Your enrollment is $325. Now, why is that? Because you definitely need and want to have everything that we talked about today. You want to have access to all the tools and all the resources that comes with this package. This is what you want, the $325. This is just like going to your local community college. It's just like going to your local university. The only difference is you do not have to pay for the entire tuition up front. Your monthly is $274.95. Now, we're talking about $9.16 a day. Now, I'm gonna back up for a minute, because when you think about $325, if that, I'm gonna eat the pink elephant in the room, if that gives you heartache, just make sure you understand that this is a must do. It's something that must change in your life, because not $325 should never be a reason why you decide not to do something. $325 should never be a reason why you decide that you do not want to participate in something. You should always make a decision based on what you want to do and not because you cannot do it. So this is something you have to do to change the outcome and the things that are going on in your life. Now we're talking about $9 a day, and then there is a power in your yes. Now I want you to understand that this is optional. This is completely optional. You have the option to become an independent business owner. Optional, but valuable. So let me help you understand that. Optional, but valuable. Optional because when you're looking at this, there is a power behind your yes. When the visionary had the vision that he wanted to financially educate and impact 1 million families, educate and impact 1 million families around the globe, when he had that vision, there was a power behind that yes, because now it's literally happening. When the BYOB cash out, there was a power behind my yes, because now we have a strategy, we have a tool that is literally impacting lives around the globe. But then you look at what is the power behind your yes. What is behind your yes? What is there? So this is definitely an opportunity for you to earn residually, but also at the same time, it is optional, but there is power behind it. It is so valuable. Now, remember Googleologists, this is what we are. I want you to understand, you literally, we're talking about banks. We're talking about banks. Banks becoming your own bank. Remember, I told you, banks literally are using your money. Banks are using your money. Over the last 5 to 10 years, out of all the money that's flowed through your bank account, how much has your bank paid you for using your own money? This is what they're doing with it. Now, if the same information that I'm sharing with you today, if this is what the bank is going to pay you to do the exact same thing, $155,000 a year, 266, look at this range, 307 plus. If this is what the bank is going to pay you, imagine what the return on investment is. Because for every position that you hold, for every position, every job that is out there, there is a return on investment for that position. There is a return on investment for you being in that role. So understand, if this is what the banks are paying, imagine what that return on investment is. So yes, you're going to invest in yourself. You're going to enroll. You're going to learn, and you're going to profit. So when we say profit, imagine what that return on investment is going to be. Because we're literally telling you that you now, because you've made that mental shift, what are you telling yourself? I can and I will be my own bank. You have the skill set and access to the same tools and resources that banks have. And now you literally can do the exact same thing. Now, why is this Women Winning Wednesday? Why is this Wealthy Women Wednesday? Why? Because the reality is there's an equal pay gap. The reality is that it is time for us to stand up. This is the reality. This is what's happening. And with 26 million people losing their jobs, I want you to think about the impact that that has. I want you to think about the impact that that is literally going to have on our economy and our society. Because if women already statistically make up about 40% of the breadwinning households, but yet we do not have equal pay, it will not be until 2059 until we reach equal pay. African American women, that's 21, 24, and Hispanic women, we're talking about 22, 24, okay? Think about how significant that is. Yet 40% of households, regardless of your status, 40% of households, women are the breadwinners. So think about that for just a moment. So yes, Wealthy Women Wednesday. And it impacts you as well, men, because you have a mother, you have a wife, you have a daughter, you know a woman somewhere. So because of that, this impacts our communities, this impacts our livelihood. So if this is what banks are paying, you look at how they've skated through this economy, how they've skated through what's happening. You now have in your hands the power to be your own bank, and you understand why Women Teach Forex, this movement, is so impactful and so important. So with that being said, I'm going to officially welcome you. I'm going to officially welcome you to the Be Your Own Bank movement. And I'm also going to turn this call over to our host, who can give you some further instructions. Pastor Axon?
Yes, thank you so much, Trade Whisperer. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in and listening. The information that has been hidden in plain sight has now been revealed to each and every one of you. You now have the answer. You hold the key. So your next step is to get back with the person that invited you out to this call. Ask them to add you to the BYOB Telegram, because testimonies are filled in there, and you will see real people with real results from all around the world cashing out and changing their lives. Most importantly, go ahead and get enrolled. You will want to do this as soon as possible. And listen, success is a decision, not a feeling. Decide today that you are ready to be your own bank, and your journey will begin with that. Yes, I am. So get back with that person and let them know that you have officially accepted the challenge to be your own bank. And they'll plug you right into our system. Blessings to each and every one of you. Welcome to the BYOB family. And this will officially conclude this call.